Good afternoon. Here's what's making news this Wednesday, the 9th of April. Another swing for our share market. The ASX falls again as President Trump's worldwide tariffs take effect. Campaign clashes and crisis talks. The federal election heats up as Anthony Albanese and Peter Dutton face off in their first debate. The final report into what caused SeaWorld's horror helicopter crash reveals serious safety faults. Hundreds of surgeries called off and thousands of appointments cancelled as New South Wales doctors continue their pay protests.
Oh, Christ! No.
And oh no, poor Bojo. The UK's former Prime Minister Boris Johnson gets a peck.
This is 10 News First Afternoon with Angela Bishop.
Good afternoon. Donald Trump's tariff war has blown up in Washington today, with one Democrat senator demanding to know why Australia has been hit with a 10% tariff on exports. The Prime Minister has echoed the comments, highlighting the trade surplus America enjoys as part of a free trade agreement. Taylor Ryan joins us with the details.
He might be hitting us with tariffs, but Australia does have a new friend in Washington. He's a little-known Democrat senator from Virginia. His name is Mark Warner, and he really went in to bat for us today. He grilled Trump's top trade representative, Jamieson Greer, about why we've been hit with that 10% export tariff. Now, Greer admitted that America was essentially running up the score here, so that's a clear acknowledgement that the US was already winning under our free trade agreement, but wants to gain an even bigger advantage, no matter the cost to our relationship. Their exchange, well, it was rather explosive. Here's a little of how it played out.
With the trade surplus, with this strong relationship, Australia got hit with a 10% tariff as well.
Senator, Australia has the lowest rate available under the new program. They ban imports of American beef.
Ambassador, excuse me. There is a trade. We already have a free trade agreement. We have a trade surplus. So getting the least bad, why did they get whacked in the first place?
We're addressing the $1.2 trillion deficit, the largest in human history that President Biden left us with. We should be running up the score in Australia.
The fact is that what he has drawn attention to is what I've been saying consistently and what I have said very directly to President Trump, which is the United States has a trade surplus with Australia of around about 2 to 1.
Things got a little tense there. Now, all of this is unfolding, of course, with just around an hour to go before those tariffs actually come into effect at midnight US time. And that is, of course, hitting the markets, with the ASX down around 2.1% earlier this morning, although it has recovered slightly. But just in the last couple of hours, Trump has also threatened to expand his tariff war to include foreign-made pharmaceuticals. Now, that would be a problem for Australia, where, for example, CSL manufactures pharmaceutical products in Melbourne and exports those to the US. So as a result of that news, CSL stocks were down by about 5% this morning, and the hits just keep on coming.
They do. Taylor, thanks very much. Now to the election campaign, and Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has claimed victory against opposition leader Peter Dutton in the first leaders' debate. But it's not all good news for the government, with the Treasurer holding crisis talks with the big banks in response to US President Donald Trump's tariffs. Political reporter Matthew Carstunen is travelling with the PM.
Anthony Albanese has plenty to smile about today following last night's victory against Peter Dutton in the first leaders' debate, but there was little time to celebrate with the campaign rolling on here in Sydney. The PM spent the morning pressing the flesh at Paddy's Market in the heart of the CBD.
You win it, mate, hands down.
Thank you.
Officially opening the new Hay Street Market. Where he was joined by senior Labor frontbencher and Sydney MP Tanya Plibersek and New South Wales Premier Chris Minns.
Sydney is a vibrant, dynamic city, and this will add to the experience, not just for people who live here, but importantly as well for people who visit here.
Sydney has been the focus for the Labor campaign over the last few days. Last night's leaders' debate was in Wentworthville in Sydney's west, where both leaders were grilled on key election issues, including cost of living, immigration and health, to a room of 100 undecided voters.
Peter hasn't been able to stand up for his own policy, so I don't know how he can stand up for Australia.
Ultimately, 44 people backed Anthony Albanese, 35 people thought Peter Dutton won the debate, while 21 others were still unsure. Although the Queensland LNP thought otherwise, posting this photo to social media shortly after the debate, claiming Mr Dutton had claimed victory.
But we're not getting ahead of ourselves. May 3's a long way away. We are not halfway through this election campaign. Elections are hard to win.
But it's not all good news for the government. Treasurer Jim Chalmers is holding emergency talks today with the Reserve Bank Governor Michelle Bullock, along with the heads of the big banks, including the ANZ, NAB and Commonwealth Bank, following US President Donald Trump's move to impose a 10% tariff on Australian imports into America.
We have had direct contact with the United States administration and will continue to do so.
Well, after spending 2 days in Sydney, the campaign now heads north to Queensland, a key state for Labor. They want to hold on and win several battleground seats, including Leichhardt in Cairns.
Matthew Carstunen there. Peter Dutton is assuring voters their gas and electricity bills will go down by the end of this year as he releases the modelling behind his energy plan. That's despite the analysis showing there would be a lag before customers enjoy any savings. Lucy Gray is travelling with the opposition leader and filed this report.
Western Sydney is a manufacturing powerhouse, and it's here at BlueScope Steel where Peter Dutton is firing up his plan to bring down power bills, hoping high-vis voters will help deliver an election victory. Today, unveiling the long-awaited modelling behind his plan to boost supply of gas by 10 to 20% of current demand by establishing an East Coast domestic gas reserve. According to Frontier Economics, the policy would slash wholesale gas prices 23%. This would progressively be passed on to households who would enjoy a 7% drop in retail gas bills, 3% on electricity, and industrial energy users like factories would save 15% on gas. Producers would also be hit with a levy if they don't send enough gas to the domestic market. There are several hurdles to clear before the policy can take effect, and the independent report acknowledges there would be a lag in any reduction to retail power bills. But Mr Dutton says savings will come soon. When is the earliest people will see retail gas and electricity prices go down under your...
We can see more gas coming into the system by the end of this calendar year, and that's when you'll start to see a reduction in those prices.
Well, the only gas policy that the coalition have is gaslighting the Australian public.
After 2 days in the outer suburbs of Sydney, Peter Dutton's election campaign is leaving town, but it won't be his last visit to New South Wales, a state where the results on election night will be crucial in determining who's victorious on May 3.
Lucy Gray there. A final report has revealed what caused the deadly SeaWorld helicopter crash that killed tourists, a mother and a pilot, and severely injured others. Tiani Reid is on the Gold Coast.
An investigation has found a series of failures, including faulty radio equipment and flawed safety procedures led to the preventable crash where two choppers collided mid-air in 2023. The grounded chopper likely missed an inbound call from another coming in to land while he was loading passengers. The departing helicopter also had a transmission fault due to a loose wire, and out of 66 calls that were made in the 2 days before the crash, only 4 of them were readable. So when the pilot tried to alert the second helicopter in the air he was taking off, it never went through. A simulation has been released showing both pilots couldn't see the risk until it was too late. The chopper in the air was hidden by the cockpit structure until the moment of impact. They started using new helicopters only a week before the crash, which had no live traffic display. 4 people were killed. Pilot Ashley Jenkinson and his passengers Vanessa Tadros and Diane and Ron Hughes. 5 others were seriously injured, and some passengers came out of their seatbelts, which were not properly secured.
The visibility constraints faced by the pilots, combined with their competing operational priorities and their understanding that the airspace was clear, ultimately led to the mid-air collision as both helicopters passed through the conflict point.
SeaWorld Helicopters has since introduced a number of changes to its safety system, but the Australian Transport Safety Bureau is asking for 4 further corrections to be made, including considering redesigning conflict points to avoid another tragedy.
Tiani Reid there. Thousands of public hospital doctors are continuing their strike action across New South Wales as part of a year-long pay dispute. The state's Ministry of Health says 614 planned surgeries have been called off and 4,000 appointments have been cancelled. Doctors today rallied outside a major hospital in the Premier's electorate.
They're trying to make it out like the delays and the cancellations are all our fault, but it never should have gotten to this point. I apologise to the people who've had their care and procedures delayed.
We've got around just over 3,000 doctors estimated have taken industrial action today, slightly down from yesterday.
It's the first time in 41 years New South Wales public hospital doctors have gone on strike. They're campaigning for a 30% pay rise, arguing doctors are leaving the system because they're paid more interstate. An investigation is underway in Melbourne after a man was allegedly stabbed in his home. Samantha Butler is there.
Homicide Squad detectives and forensic officers have spent the morning working to piece together what happened inside the Burwood property in Melbourne's inner east. About 11 o'clock last night, emergency services were called to reports of a man injured inside the home on Winton Street. They arrived to find the victim with stab wounds. Paramedics worked on him for some time, but he couldn't be saved. Another man, believed to be the victim's housemate, was arrested at the scene. He remains in custody, being questioned by police. Friends of the victim say he moved to Australia from India several years ago and was living at the Burwood home with 2 housemates.
We can't believe, is it real or, a couple of times, I tried calling my different friends, is it confirmed, he's dead or, maybe they are joking or something, but, still, can't believe it happened. Can't explain these things.
Many of the residents on this street say they had no idea something had happened until they woke up to find their street taped off and a crime scene established. Homicide Squad detectives are still investigating, and at this stage, no charges have been laid.
Samantha Butler there. A family is counting their lucky stars today after their little girl was rescued from a riverbank in Sydney's south. She'd gone missing around dusk and was found at the bottom of a very steep embankment. Hannah Taylor reports.
You can see just how steep it is leading down to the banks of the Georges River, close to where this little girl was found, and just how daring the actions were of police officers who trekked through thick scrub at lightning speed to bring her to safety. But just how the 9-year-old managed to get down there remains a mystery. Emergency crews were called to Lugano at around 5:50 p.m. after hearing she'd gone missing. Residents say it was a kayaker who raised the alarm after hearing her shouting for help. It's hard to make out, but this is the moment police found her uninjured on the banks, much to the relief of residents and family.
We had a knock on the door and I opened up and there was a couple of policemen there and they were pretty frantic and they asked me if they could get access down to the water from our place.
Police officers just went straight down into the bushes and just raced down. It was actually pretty incredible seeing how fast someone could go down to these bushes where there's no actual track.
Mate, we had everyone here. We had the fire brigade, the emergency services, the ambulance and all that, and the whole place was just chock-a-block of people and that. Anyway, the good news is they found her and we believe that she only had scratches. That they feared a lot worse initially.
I didn't see her. I heard her speaking to the police, so she sounded fine, thank God. And all I knew was she was fine, just very cold. So then they sorted a thermal blanket for her.
It was too difficult to get back up through the dense scrub and steep terrain, so police called in the Marine Area Command, who shepherded the girl out by boat and back into the arms of her parents.
Hannah Taylor there. A group of high schoolers have taken on a challenge most wouldn't even dare dream of: a commute on every single metro train line and station across Melbourne within 24 hours. The quest started at 4 a.m. at Mernda Station and finished just before midnight at Hurstbridge.
Keeping up with what's happening on the track, what's the network status. We had a few disruptions during the day, and so we were just hoping that nothing would catch up to us.
It took a lot of planning and strategic choices to pull it off in 19 hours. And Melbourne viewers can see more on that story in your local news at 5 p.m. Coming up today, rescue workers scramble to find survivors after the roof of a nightclub collapses, killing dozens of people. Plus, Prince Harry back in court, claiming he was singled out and subjected to inferior treatment by the royal family.
10 has all the news you need with 10 News First lunchtime and the latest developments at 3:30. Then to get the full story, switch on Jen at 5 for your local Melbourne news.
I've been on MasterChef twice already. I came second both times. Very good at coming second. I'm here for the third time. Third time lucky, third time's a charm. There's one more shot to win it. This is it. To hold that trophy, I think, would be incredible. I've dreamt about it for a long time, and I'm definitely back to put my name on it.
Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back to win.
It's not about years. Age is power. New Nivea Q10 Day Cream with Q10 and creatine for visibly reduced wrinkles in 7 days. New Nivea Q10 Day Cream SPF 30. Skin is for feeling your power. Nivea is for skin.
If you have a sore back, you've probably thought about your mattress. But what about your bed base? Bed bases commonly sag, even in amazing-looking beds. That's why we created the Sleeping Duck Indestruct Bed with 50 kilos of structural steel.
However these 6 symptoms of acid reflux feel to you, Gaviscon Dual Action acts in the stomach to neutralise acid fast and form a protective layer. For 6 symptoms, think Gaviscon.
Matto's a country boy at heart. But ever since he moved to the big smoke, he spends more time on these 4 wheels
than those 4 wheels.
It doesn't mean he loves his car any less.
Still love you, Betty!
Which is why Matto swapped to Drive Less, Pay Less cover from Everyday Insurance. It's comprehensive car insurance that costs a lot less because he drives less. And he gets
10% off of when we shop every month. Bingo, bingo! I'm watching you, bird!
Make your insurance more rewarding. Make every day count.
Whatever they get up to, protect them with NexGuard Spectra Spot On for Cats. The most complete protection against fleas, ticks, mites, heartworm, worms, even tapeworms. All in one easy monthly application. NexGuard Spectra.
Come on, darling, up you hop. There's a glass and a half in everyone. Cadbury Hollow Easter eggs in store now.
What will Peter Dutton cut to fund his $600 billion nuclear plan? He'll start with Victoria's 29 new free Medicare urgent care clinics. He cuts, you pay.
Authorised P. Erickson, ALP Canberra.
Forget the fad flavours.
What's wrong with me?
And get the fabulously fresh, baked today hot cross buns this Easter at Baker's Delight.
You mastered your mind. And all the while, you were on the train home. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen.
Imagine homes so well designed and so luxurious, they'll be setting the standard for decades. Homes with prices your bank will love and your friends will envy. The Henley Mainview Collection. The difference is everywhere.
11 essential vitamins and minerals, low GI, protein, high in fiber. It's amazing what they squeeze into an up and go.
We squeeze more good stuff in, so you can get more out. Also available in no added sugar.
Welcome back. At least 98 people have been killed after the roof of a nightclub collapsed in the Dominican Republic. 160 more have been injured and others are still missing as workers comb through the rubble looking for survivors. It's believed 300 people were inside the Jet Set nightclub in Santo Domingo when the roof caved in. Families have been gathering at the scene hoping to find loved ones alive.
We know she was there with a co-worker and none of the group has shown up yet. We have faith that she will appear. These were her clothes last night.
The roof caved in during a performance from a local artist. The country's president has declared 3 days of mourning as investigators start to piece together what happened. The UN has described Gaza as a killing field, with civilians who are in an endless death loop. It comes as fresh strikes from the Israeli Defence Force resulted in the deaths of 25 people. The IDF claims it targeted Hamas fighters, but 8 children and 5 women were also killed. The official death toll in Gaza has surpassed 50,000, but most organisations maintain the real toll is probably much higher. King Charles and Queen Camilla have greeted crowds outside the Colosseum. The royal couple are in Rome as part of a state visit to reinforce the close ties between the UK and Italy. It's the monarch's first trip this year while he continues undergoing cancer treatment. Today also marks the couple's 20th wedding anniversary. It comes as Prince Harry was back in court. The Duke of Sussex is making a legal challenge against the royal family after his security arrangements were downgraded when he chose to no longer be a working royal. Prince Harry's lawyer claims he was singled out for different, unjustified and inferior treatment. Former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has been getting a bit too up close and personal with some local animals while in Texas. Bojo was caught on camera getting pecked by an ostrich during a visit to a wildlife park. His wife, Carrie, posted the video on social media saying it was too funny not to share. Up next, a look at the weather with 10 News First meteorologist Josh Holt. Plus, get ready to go Gaga because for the first time in more than a decade, Lady Gaga's back touring down under. Also ahead, meet the team bringing you this year's Eurovision contest. And here's what else is coming up in your local 10 News First at 5.
In Melbourne's 10 News First, a man is being interviewed by homicide detectives following the stabbing death of a man at Burwood. More than $20,000 worth of clothing snatched from a Chapel Street shop. The share market sell-off accelerates as the US slaps a 104% tariff on China. And Melbourne's set to go Gaga after the music superstar announces her first Australian show in 11 years.
It's all fun and games when you adopt a dog.
Yeah, she's beautiful, isn't she?
So cute. Until someone asks,
Who's going to be cleaning up the poop? Not me.
Not me. Will this pooch find his pooper scooper? 7:30 tonight on 10.
And yes, we're on. The tent is in play. We know where it'll go. Throw is good, and that is a tent.
Being an outdoor legend feels pretty good. At BCF and feeling it's BCF and fun. Hey!
I'm not done reinventing myself, but I'm also making decisions that truly matter, like taking out life insurance with Australian seniors, so my family are looked after if something happens to me. With Seniors Life Insurance, you can apply from age 45 to 79 and choose up to $200,000 cover. Plus, applying is easy, and you get the peace of mind knowing your loved ones are taken care of. With Australian seniors, life's not just good, it's booming. Get a quote today. Call 137002 or visit seniors.com.au.
Next term, we'll deliver more bulk billing for all Australians and open more free Medicare urgent care clinics, making it easier for Australians to once more see a GP for free.
Authorised P. Erickson, ALP Canberra.
Dehydration can cause us to lose our fizz. Reach for Hydrolite every day. It rehydrates you faster than water alone. Available in various flavours and formats for a great price every day at Chemist Warehouse.
Build something epic with one of 12 limited edition toys in the newer Minecraft Movie Happy Meal, only at Macca's.
Broccolini isn't just a delicious vegetable with goodies like folate, vitamin C and antioxidants. It's also incredibly easy to cook. For more health and less hassle, try Broccolini from Perfection Fresh.
Disney's Beauty and the Beast must leave Melbourne next week. Don't miss your very last chance to experience this heartwarming 5-star production before the last petal falls. Hurry, book now at Ticketek.
In a bit of a mess? Pino Clean has 3 times multi-action power to clean,
disinfect and freshen. It's not clean unless it's Pino Clean.
If you've been injured at work, you may be entitled to compensation which could be in the hundreds of thousands or more. Arnold, Thomas and Becker's experienced work injury lawyers will help you to maximise your compensation. Call Arnold, Thomas and Becker today to start your claim.
Come on, darling, up you up. There's a glass and a half in everyone. Cadbury Hollow Easter eggs in store now.
Mini and effective. Unleash the speed of liquid. New Nurofen Advanced Minis. Our smallest liquid capsule ever. The pain relief you love, now even smaller. Nurofen. Leave your pain to us.
Introducing a breakthrough in sleep technology. The all-new Sealy Posturepedic Acclaim. Featuring the most innovative support system that senses and responds, helping to align your body. Relentlessly designed and tested, so you wake up rested. Ready to take on the day. Innovation never felt so good. Sealy Posturepedic Acclaim. In store now.
It's a big day in entertainment news, and little monsters all over Australia are abuzz, with Lady Gaga this morning announcing she's bringing her tour down under, and there's not too long to wait. Dubbed the Mayhem Ball, it's the first time Gaga has set concert dates in Australia for more than a decade. The last time she toured was 2014's Art Rave for the Art Pop Ball Tour. Gaga is landing on Aussie shores in just under 8 months, with her first stop at Melbourne's Marble Stadium on December 5th, before jetting to Brisbane, Vegas to light up Suncorp Stadium on the 9th and closing out at Accor Stadium in Sydney on the 12th. You can get your hands on pre-sale tickets on Monday before a general sale kicks off later in the week. One of television's longest-running soaps doesn't seem to be losing steam anytime soon, with Paramount and CBS today revealing the ever-popular daytime drama The Bold and the Beautiful has been renewed for another 3 seasons. The order will see Bold into its 40th anniversary season in 2027, and no doubt we might see some favourites returning. Of course, you can catch The Bold and the Beautiful right here on 10 at 4:30 every day and streaming on both 10 Play and Paramount Plus. Eurovision fans have 2 fantastic reasons to get excited today. Media personality Tony Armstrong and Australian drag icon Courtney Act are headed to Switzerland as the newest hosts of Australia's coverage of the song contest. WA artist Gojo will be representing the Aussies with his banger of a song, Milkshake Man. Here's what our new hosts think of it.
When you go into a competition like this, you can normally find reasons why an act won't win. But when I think about Gojo and Milkshake Man, I'm thinking about reasons why he could win. So I think with that in mind, I mean, he's got the look, he's got the energy, got the song. Now he just needs to perform.
Yeah. Will there be costume reveals? What will the set be? Will there be confetti?
Pyros.
I
want pyro.
Tony wants pyros.
This is the sort of investigative reporting I want you to be in charge of. Find out these things. Of course, we'll just have to wait and see what Gojo will have in store when Eurovision goes to air live on SBS and SBS On Demand from May 14th to the 18th. It's time now for a check of the weather with 10 News First meteorologist Josh Holt. And Josh, more showers along the east coast.
Yeah, that's right, Ange. We are seeing some showers sweep in and across areas of the New South Wales coastline and along with southeast Queensland. And you can see that reflected here on the satellite, that low-level cloud, that grey, murky image just offshore. Bit of high cloud moving over our southern states, but it's producing little or no rainfall at the moment. Here are those showers passing over Sydney late last night, in fact, delivering the CBD with around about 19 millimetres into the rain gauge, faring a bit better up on the northern beaches. Areas like Avalon seeing around about 27. We've also seen some showers skirt along the southeast Queensland coast. Areas like Straddie seeing some of the best of it, picking up 17 millimetres to 9 a.m. this morning. As you can see, those showers moving in and across areas of the Sunshine Coast as we go to air this afternoon, all being produced by a high-pressure system, pumping in that moisture in off the Tasman and Coral Seas. And as I move out of the way tomorrow, we've got this cold front which will clip the state of Tasmania late tomorrow night. But before that happens, a relatively fine day across our southern states. Again, those isolated showers down the east coast. Looking at the forecast tomorrow, shower or two for Brisbane and 27 degrees at the top. Sydney, those showers should abate, 26 degrees, partly cloudy tomorrow. Sunny skies for Melbourne, 30 degrees and partly cloudy for Adelaide. Sunny skies for Perth and 28. Showers and thunderstorms for Darwin with a top of 34. But of course, we'll have all our local weather details coming up in all our bulletins from 5 p.m.
Thanks, Josh. That's the latest news for this Wednesday, the 9th of April. Join us for more on 10 News First at 5. Until then, have a great afternoon.
Previously on Neighbours.